Hi everyone. So today I am here with two students to talk about the press conference of last Monday. So on the right side is Shugufa. She is a student employee at Erasmus Sport. And on the left side, we can see Rolland and he's the president of ESN. So the Netherlands will be going into another lockdown. And it is a more intense one than the last one, because this is our second lockdown. And the new regulations, it is important to mention that the new regulations will be until the 19th of January 2021. So the Dutch Prime Minister explained that the coronavirus is spreading much more quickly than expected. So that is why there is a new lockdown. And we're going to discuss a few of the new regulations. So the first one I want to discuss with you guys is that all stores selling non-essential products will close, such as clothing stores or bookstores, and only the stores that sell essential products, such as grocery stores or pharmacies, will remain open. How do you feel about that, Shugufa?
Well, I personally feel I understand that if the cases were going up much quicker than expected, that at some point I think this was sort of coming. I think everybody kind of felt it. For me, it kind of came very suddenly, but I do understand, of course, that it's easier to keep your distance if the shops are closed, that people aren't really like gathering anywhere together. So I do understand it, of course.
Yes. Roland, what about you?
For me, as ESN, we cater to international students and their needs mainly. So the main thing that we're worried about is that when they come here in January, and we're expecting some exchange students and some international students, full bachelors, to come here in January, then they have to just be at home the whole time. They can't go anywhere. The only place they can go is to the grocery. So if they want to read a book or whatever, they basically have to find a different way to find a book or stuff like that, you know. And for us, that's just it, actually.
Yes, I can imagine a bit tough for international students coming into the Netherlands, wanting to meet so many new people and socialize a bit, that it is not really possible. So yeah, that's definitely rough. The second regulation I want to discuss is that schools will be closing. So going from primary school to university, it will all close and all education will be online. Also, public buildings will close, such as museums, theaters, amusement parks, but also gyms. What do you think about this measurement, Rolland?
So international office who supervises ESN Rotterdam, they and us as well, we thought that many students would be staying in Rotterdam because of the corona regulations, that they cannot go home for whatever reason in the Christmas break. So we had a whole program set up for them, a bunch of offline events next week and the week after that, and so on. At least one event per week for the students who stay here in the Christmas break, so they're not alone and whatever. But now, after these new regulations, we cannot have any of those offline fun events. So now we will have to go online and try to keep them amused, and try to keep them entertained, and try to keep the spirit up a little bit. I mean, it's the Christmas time, so this is when you're supposed to be with people, with friends, with family. But some people are not as lucky that they cannot go home in this time, so they stay here in Rotterdam, and they'll be here with us then online.
Yes, because that's also one thing I wanted to talk about, because ESN, it helps international students integrate by organizing cultural and social activities. And since this is not possible anymore, what does ESN offer now for international students?
So certainly online events, those will be coming from next week onwards. And these are mainly for the people who are, of course, here now. But then even after, when people come in January, we have some speed friending events, which are online, of course, and stuff like that. Apart from that, we have other things just to take care of the students who are coming in January. So if you come here in January as an exchange student or just as a full bachelor student, we have this thing set up, which is that when you come here, the government will want you to quarantine for at least 14 days, 10 to 14 days. So then when you're doing that, we have people, volunteers, basically students just like you, who will be here to help you do your groceries, to help you go to the pharmacy or whatever. So that in that sense, we have them covered. And even like if you get corona in this time from now until the 19th, and you're not as lucky enough as to have someone to go get your groceries for you, then we are there. You just need to email us or whatever. And we have a form set up on our website where you can sign up and someone will come bring you groceries and stuff like that.
All right.
And, that's just one thing. We have a bunch of other things happening, but I think Shugufa should also say something.
Yeah, there are many options. Yeah, Shugufa, you work at Erasmus Sport, and Erasmus Sport also had to close. What other options does Erasmus Sport offer for students so that they can still work out?
Yeah, we so of course here also the everybody has been working hard to make sure that everybody can still work out, you know, and for us to be able to offer at least something, because we also know that in this time especially, it's, I think, for everybody really important to be able to exercise. It makes you feel good, makes you feel healthy, and for that reason, you know, also for your mind, it's just really important. So we have a few things planned for the coming weeks. Like we will, first of all, the padel and the tennis will still be continuing as normal. And then we will post like challenges every week. So they're working really hard here to sort of keep things running. Then in January, there's going to be a more personal training, for example, because that's something that is still allowed. So for the people that will be interested, we're kind of trying to focus more on that. And then at the beginning of next year, we'll also do something called an Erasmus lockdown run, which is going to be a really big event in one of the weeks. So what exactly it's going to be, it's still being discussed. But we are working on something. And next to that, like we have all our classes. We have already pre-recorded some classes that we'll be posting online. And we're going to do some like live virtual classes. So, you know, we're working really hard here to try and, you know, have at least some content for everybody so that everybody can still work out. Because for us, of course, it's also really sad that we're closing. And yeah, we hope that on the 19th we can, you know, start blasting again.
Right, yes. Yeah, I hear there are a lot of options actually. So that is really a nice thing. Do you have any tips for students in general if they want to work out? What can they do?
Well, first of all, I would say definitely like watch our online content as well, like keep track of our social media, because we do post a lot there. And also the virtual online classes that I was talking about, they're not even just for our members, they're actually accessible for everybody. And we did that because we do see the importance of, you know, working out. So I would say that's of course a really good tip. And besides that, like, because we do need to keep distance, like if you don't like, you can always, you know, work out from home, but you can, maybe this is a time where you can also focus more on like going outside, being in the fresh air, and, you know, be creative, you know?
Yes.
So
right.
if I may, of course, I'm not the sport expert here. That's Shugufa, but something that ESN offers, of course, is like a body program. So you could get someone who you can train with, let's say. Just sign up for it, and then we basically put you in contact with another student who you can work out with, be it online then, because of the regulations as they are right now. So that's also another thing. If you're at home right now in this Christmas holiday, you don't have to be alone. You just sign up and you get a buddy from us. We've been doing this for more than 10 years, so we know what we're doing.
Yeah, you can always go for a run outside with someone. That is still possible, definitely. So I want to end this discussion with a question about student well-being, because that is also a very important time. And in these times of Corona, it can be very, very tough for students. You know, they might feel lonely, they might feel a bit upset, and that can really impact their well-being. Do you guys have any tips for those who are currently going through a rough time, Rolland?
From everything I've said, those are like some ways by which you could fight and try to be less lonely in times like this. So you get a buddy, you just sign up and we give you a buddy ASAP. you go to the online events and whatever. And actually, we even have the living room from the university, which has their own platform. Are You Okay out there? I'm sure you've heard a lot about it, especially from the Erasmus University Instagram and Facebook. They really like the platform, as so do I. So there you could get some help. And I don't really know how else to answer this question apart from that, apart from what we do and what the university is offering.
Yeah. Anything?
Yeah, well, apart from what I mentioned already, is that, of course, you know, working out and staying healthy is really important. It can really contribute to feeling better in this time, especially. I think it's important to watch your health for everybody, but just in more general terms, I think, you know, reach out to people around you. Everybody's going through the same thing, you know, we're all going through it together. So most importantly, just keep distance, but still be there for each other, you know, reach out to people, ask them if they're okay. And yeah, I think that's most important.
All right. Well, I think that's a good one to close this discussion with. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Tessa.
Thank you for having us.